look at how to put a bill onto the QuickBooks system. So if you look up here, you can see your company name. You move across, there's a plus sign which goes green, and you click there. That goes into a little X. Under suppliers, you've got a section that says bill. So this is for any bills that you receive from your suppliers. You can either drop down here if you haven't got many suppliers and select their company name, or if you've got quite a few, you can start typing and it will come up. This supplier hasn't got any terms set up, so you can choose whichever you want there, whether it's due straight away, if it's 15 days, 30 days, 60 days, or you can set new terms up there. So I'm just going to click add new so you can see what it looks like. So just say it's going to be 7 days and due a fixed number of days, so 7 days. Or you can choose by a certain day of the month or due the next month if issued within certain days of the due date. So I'm just going to click there and I'll put that to net 7, which ends up a 7-day payment term. So I'm going to put a bill number in here. We're not going to be looking at location and class at the moment because that's more of the advanced stuff. So unless you're buying and selling goods, then you're mostly going to be looking at this bit that says here, it says category details. We'll briefly go over the bottom bit, item details, in a minute. But for most part, we're going to be looking at category details. So you're either going to have usually this be a cost of sale. So something that goes between kind of your sales and your gross profit, comes out before your gross profit. So we've got commissions, we've got things like merchant account fees, entertainment bookings for clients, printed materials for clients. So I'm going to say printed materials for clients, and I'm going to say it's a brochure for the client. And I'm going to say £100. So I'm not sure if you remember when we set up, we were looking at whether things were exclusive or inclusive of VAT. So at the moment, I'm going to keep everything exclusive, so before VAT is added. And I'm going to say this costs £100 plus VAT, which is at the moment £120. So that's quite easy. You can put a memo there if you want to, but this description is kind of the best place to put any notes on the particular item. You can also add separate lines. So if there was also some other fees that were there, I don't know, some commission. So and put that there. And again, the VAT rate. Just to show you the different VATs, I'm just going to say there was also another line here, some professional fees. And these particular type of things were non-VATable fees of £20. So you put 0%. It's best not to always think about too many of the VAT rates and to ask someone who knows if you do need to look at it. Okay, so that's got the total there, the subtotal 170, VAT of 30 on those two lines, and the total of £200. So we can either just press save, which will keep us on the same bill number here, but it's all saved. We can do save and close, or we can do save and new. So if I'm just going to click save and new for now, so I can choose a different supplier and show you again. And this time we're going to look at the item details part. So I'm going to say you bought it from this person. This time they are on 30-day terms. Put their bill number in. Okay, so this time under item details, this is going to have products and services. So there's part of this course which is about setting up your products and services, if you have them. So we can put this here. So for example, if you buy things to sell on, I'm just going to say here they buy in water bottles and sell them. These are all set up here. So these are the generic water bottles at a rate of £5 each. And they have brought 50 of those. So £250 plus VAT. And let's say we've also purchased some pens, and I purchased 100 of those, and there's probably a delivery charge going to be on here. So if we go up to the services, the category details, we can put in the delivery charge here. So I'm not sure what it'll be on this one. It's just postage and delivery. That'll probably do there. Delivery charge. I'm going to say that is £3.95 plus VAT. That's all that on there. So we've got the delivery charge on the category line, and we've got the product details on here. So what this would do when we look at the items in more detail is that this will actually add these number of items to our stock quantities. And obviously we'll need that for when we do selling on. Down here, you've actually got an attachments area. Now, this will become more important as we go on, because I will be talking briefly a bit about Receipt Bank, which will put a different spin on some of these bits that we're doing for the bill section. But we'll go into that later. So, but for now, if you want to add copies of the invoices, you can do on there if you've got copies on PDFs. But I'm just going to now do save and close. Okay, so that's then brought us back out to the dashboard, as you can see. Okay, so now we're going to go in and look at how we actually go out and mark any of our bills as paid. So again, we do the same thing. We go from there and we can go to pay bills. Okay, from here, what we do is we just click on one of the bills that we want to be paid. So I want to pay Cass Hayden, for example. We choose which bank account it's coming out of. So for here, we've only got the current account or the Visa card. Put the payment date. So I was to say that I paid that last week on the 6th of July. Reference number, if you've got one, that doesn't really matter too much. But that'll be auto-generated. And you can just save and send if you're going to send a remittance device. I'll click this just to show you what happens there. Okay, so it will come up if they've got an email address saved, it will come up there. And there'll be a subject there for the remittance advice. And then it has the body of the email. So for example, we've got Dear Cass Hayden, thank you for your business. And then our company name. This is something that can be edited, and we'll be going through that in a different section. And this is what the remittance advice will look like. Got there, a bit like the invoices that we send, as you can see, but it's just got remittance advice, how much the payment's for, which bills it is being paid, and sort of space for a signature if we're sending it out by post, but we're not. So that's absolutely fine. Then we can download that or print it or send it. So I'm just going to come out of that now. Okay, so let's come back to a new section. Just going to do another one as an example. So they paid that, and they paid that on the 1st of July. And here where it says save and send, there's an arrow, and you can say save and print if you're printing out a remittance, or save and close if you're just coming out. If you want to do a new one, just press save, which I will do. To show you, there we go, and it comes up on bill. What you have to be careful of is that it also always brings back the payment date back to today, so you need to be careful of that one. If you are using multi-currency, which probably won't be many of you, but if you are, you can click here and it has all the different options. So for example, I'm going to click dollars. There's no bills in dollars there. I think in euros. No, nothing in euros either. But if there were, they would have those there, and you would also be able to put how much the exchange rate is. So, for example, if it was $100 and it was only £75 that come out, so that would be 0.75 exchange rate. So we're just going to click close there. Do I want to leave without saving? Yes, I do. Okay, and that's it. You're back to the main screen there. Okay, I'm just going to go through a little bit about credit notes and also expenses. So supplier credits, I thought if you get a credit note from a supplier, so we'd click on that. We would choose a supplier. I'm just going to choose Andrew again because we had him before. Just going to do, it says payment date, but this really means what's the date of the credit note. So I'm going to say the credit note was dated also today. The reference rate of the credit note is 600. Okay, and we've been refunded for some previous work that we've had, which was equipment rental, hire of crane, I'm going to put there, and that was £250 we're being refunded. Plus VAT, it's £300. So I'm going to save and I'm going to close that down. Now what we can do is we can actually allocate these together. There's two ways of doing that. One of them is through the pay bill screen. So if we go to plus and the pay bills, when we do actually go and pay it, you can see his balance is £784.74. If I click on his name, it'll automatically take that £300 credit off of it and say we're paying £484.74. You can change this amount, of course. So say we're only now paying £100 at the moment, and it will go down to £400. If you click out of that, however, because if you are going to be doing it and matching these items from the bank feed, which is one of the other modules that we'll be doing, you need to actually match the credit notes and the payments up before you get to that bit. So if you go to expenses and suppliers, if we go into Andrew's account, you see both the bill there and the credit note. Where it says make payment, we can click on there. It's always good to have a extra account set up for this so you don't have lots of zeros on your bank account. So I'm just going to click add new here. I'm just going to call it cash on hand and save and close. So as they're both dated today, I'll keep it as today's date. So paid actually 0. I'm going to add the bill back here and the credit note. So we've only paid £300 of the bill with the credit note. So there's £300 in this bit, £300 in this bit, 0 up here. So it says amount to apply 300, amount to credit 0. Save and close. And that's been allocated. So that credit note's now been allocated to the bill, and the rest of it is kind of gone. So that is all. Now that's quite easy. And the last thing we're going to do, which is pretty easy as well, is what we do if we have an expense receipt. So say you go out, you get a train ticket, these things that you're paying for them straight away. They're not going to be waiting to be paid. So there's no point you sitting there putting the train ticket on as a bill and then doing a separate payment for it because you're doing it twice. So what you can do is under expense, this is what this bit's for, because it does both the category of it and also the payment at the same time. So I'm going to say you pay for a train ticket on the Visa card. So I'm just going to see what it comes up with. It's probably not got National Rail on here, but I will pop it on as a supplier. And I'm going to say I did that on the 4th of July. Okay, probably not got a reference number for most receipts, but if you do have one, you can put that there. And so I'm going to put this on the travel and say it's for my train ticket. And that cost me £25. Just on the side, there is no VAT on train travel. So that's 0 rated VAT. I'm going to save and use just so I can go through another one because I did that pretty quick. And this time I'm going to say that I went to McDonald's while I was out for the day. I had to go and eat, and it was outside my normal course of business. So I decided to go to McDonald's and have some lunch there. Let's put that on. I also put that on my Visa card. 4th of July again. And depending on how your accounts are set up, this could be something different, but on here, this is also going to be under travel expenses. While out on business, and that cost me £5.89, for example. That was, I'm going to say it's inclusive of VAT because I don't know what that would be otherwise, and I'm not that good at maths. I might be good at maths, but I'm not that good. So that worked out the VAT for me. And then I'm just going to click Save and Close. Again, you've got the attachment area where you can put a photo of the receipt if you want to. There you go, Save and Close. And that's it for this part on doing suppliers' bills and paying the bills. Look out next for the module on invoicing and making invoices for your clients, for your customers.